Internet speed is now infrastructure. A nation's broadband performance affects everything from remote work productivity to healthcare delivery to AI competitiveness. The gap between the fastest and slowest countries has never been greater, and the 5 nations at the top have made connectivity a national priority in ways that the rest of the world is only beginning to understand. Here are the 5 fastest internet countries on Earth, based on Speedest Global Index data for 2025. The United States enters the list at number 5 with an average fixed broadband speed of 289 megabits per second, a significant leap driven by the government's $65 billion infrastructure investment and Jobs Act commitment to closing the digital divide. The United States has more fiber-connected homes than any country in the world in absolute terms, with over 60 million households now on gigabit-capable connections. Competition between providers in major metropolitan areas has pushed average speeds higher year on year, and the Rural Broadband Expansion Program is extending high-speed access to communities that previously had no viable connection at any speed. Hong Kong ranks 4th with an average fixed broadband speed of 310 megabits per second and a fiber infrastructure that covers virtually every building in the territory. Hong Kong's extraordinary population density, over 6,500 people per square kilometer in urban areas, makes it economically straightforward to deploy fiber-to-the-building infrastructure at near-total coverage. The result is that gigabit-speed internet is available as a standard package in the majority of residential and commercial buildings, often at prices equivalent to less than $30 per month. With an average latency of 3 milliseconds and 99% 5G population coverage, Hong Kong is one of the best-connected cities on Earth. The United Arab Emirates takes 3rd place with an average broadband speed of 314 megabits per second, one of the most remarkable broadband stories of the last decade. The UAE was the first country in the Middle East to launch a commercial 5G network in 2019 and has invested aggressively in making Abu Dhabi and Dubai 2 of the most connected cities on the planet. Etisalat and Du, the country's 2 main providers, compete fiercely across fiber and 5G, driving speeds higher and prices lower year on year. The UAE's population of approximately 10 million lives in an extremely urbanized environment, making dense infrastructure deployment highly cost-effective. It is now firmly among the world's broadband elite. France enters at number 2 with an average fixed broadband speed of 315 megabits per second, a position that would have seemed impossible a decade ago and reflects one of the most aggressive national fiber rollouts in Europe. France has connected over 26 million homes to fiber-to-the-home infrastructure and is on track to reach 100% fiber coverage by 2027, an ambition backed by tens of billions of euros in both public and private investment. Competition between Orange, SFR, Bouygues Telecom, and Free has created one of the most competitive broadband markets in Europe, with gigabit packages available at some of the lowest prices on the continent. France's extraordinary average speed rise reflects years of infrastructure investment now paying off at scale. The fastest internet country in the world is Singapore, with an average fixed broadband speed of 372 megabits per second, the highest national average ever recorded in the Speedest Global Index. As one of the world's most densely populated territories, Singapore has leveraged its compact geography to build one of the most efficient broadband infrastructures on Earth. The government's next-generation national broadband network, built entirely by the state and then leased to competing providers, created a multi-operator competitive market that drove gigabit prices down to 49 Singapore dollars per month, approximately $35. Singapore's average latency of just 2 milliseconds is the lowest of any nation measured, making it the gold standard for both speed and responsiveness. In Singapore, a fast connection is not a luxury, It is the baseline expectation. From the United States, 289 megabits to Singapore's world-leading 372, these 5 countries have made internet infrastructure a national competitive advantage. The rest of the world is catching up, but the gap is still enormous. Which country's internet speed surprised you most? Drop it in the comments and subscribe for more tech content.